What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with Astral Chain, one of my favorite games of all time and definitely one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch. The director of the game talked about his distress while developing it and how the god of action games out there, Hideki Kamiya, actually helped him with that. Because believe it or not, guys, you don't just snap your fingers and plug into a computer and games just start working. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of stress, and it's a lot of time. So Takahisa Taura was given his first shot at directing a game when it comes to his own title where he has his name on it, and he worked really hard. Now, he's worked on various different projects before, from Nier Automata and more, so the guy's experienced, but when you're directing a game, it's a whole different ball game here, guys. So Taura-san also spoke about some of the distress that he had while developing Astral Chain in a recent issue of Famitsu. Now, also the game was supervised by Hideki Kamiya, so he kind of has like a hands off, but I can give you some guidance if you need it. And Taura-san is very happy for that because Hideki Kamiya actually helped him out quite a bit. So let's go ahead and get right into what the interview had to say. Did you have any fear or worry that you wouldn't get another chance on something if Astral Chain didn't sell well? Then Taura-san said, yes, a little. For example, during development, when something didn't turn out to my absolute liking, I really started to panic. Kamiya really gave me his shoulder to lean on when that happened, but I don't think I've ever felt a sense of distress like that before. The next question was, well, when was that? And then Taura-san said, that was when we were trying to nail down the action mechanics. Kamiya gathered all the things that we tried and tossed out or forgot about, and piece by piece, we turned it into something really great. So of course, Astral Chain came out back in 2019. It's going on its 2-year anniversary. And one thing that I do like about this interview, they talked about how, like, if it didn't sell well, what would have happened, you know? And then that's what can kind of cause the stress when things aren't going well, when things are broken, the frame rate's not there. There's so many different aspects of development that people, gamers, just take for granted. And it does cause stress, and it does cause some people to tense up, and sometimes they can't meet up to that challenge. But then there are directors like Mr. Taura-san who can meet up to that and even exceed people's expectations when it comes to Astral Chain. The game is just phenomenal. So I'm so happy that the game sold over 1 million copies. I'm really happy that he was able to have a great mentor like Hideki Kamiya step in, somebody who's been making action games for decades now at this point. One of the godfathers of the modern action game with stuff like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, and said, hey, this is how you do it. This is what we need to do, and got everything back on track. Because if this game didn't do well, Nintendo's definitely not going to be happy, right? And he probably wouldn't get another shot at directing the game by himself for a while. So I'm really happy that everything worked out for Platinum Games, Nintendo, and of course Taura-san here. So what do you guys think about Astral Chain? What do you think about what Taura-san had to say here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We've got a very interesting comment from Bandai Namco and what they had to say on the possibility of a Pokken Tournament sequel. One of my favorite games on the Wii U, easily put well over 100 hours on the Wii U and put quite a bit of time on the Nintendo Switch as well. Harada, he's the guy, he is the creator of Tekken, and he helped out with Pokken Tournament as well. Bandai Namco makes this game, and the game did do well on the Wii U and the Switch. It sold over 1 million copies on the Wii U. I think it's over 2 million on the Nintendo Switch, so there's definitely a lot of interest there from gamers. But could we see a sequel for this game? Well, somebody on Twitter asked Harada this, and this is what he had to say. Quote, we have a good relationship with Nintendo and Pokemon Co. Ltd. And Pokken has a great response, so I would like to make it again, but it's not what we decide, that's what they decide. So he's kind of saying, hey, if you want another one, it's up to them in terms of things. So if you're looking at it, Bandai Namco and Nintendo have a phenomenal relationship. This is probably the strongest relationship that Nintendo has with a third-party publisher slash developer out there, because Nintendo trusts Bandai Namco with not only a game like Pokken or the Pokemon franchise, but they trust them with Super Smash Brothers, right? And that is huge. They have Sakurai and they have Bandai Namco, and they make Smash Brothers together. So obviously there is a lot of trust within these two companies. Of course, with Pokken, the Pokemon company, Nintendo, there's a lot of trust there to have the Pokemon franchise, which is one of the top tier franchises in the industry when it comes to revenue, prestige, and just the length that it's just been around. Not many franchises can survive as long as Pokemon has and had the success that they've had. And of course, the upcoming Pokemon Snap, once again, that's Bandai Namco as well. So there is a very good relationship there, and I personally feel like we could see another Pokken Tournament game. Maybe it doesn't come anytime soon. Maybe it's in a year or a couple years they get an announcement. Maybe he's kind of alluding to something. Maybe there's already something in the works and he's just talking like this because he can't say anything and he's NDA'd at this point. So we don't really know, but here's what I do know. Pokken Tournament has the chance, it has the opportunity to be a massive seller if they made a ground up Pokken Tournament for the Switch. You have to remember, guys, Pokken Tournament, the deluxe edition, came out on Switch very early in its life. It wasn't too far away from the Pokemon game on the Wii U, and there wasn't as many Pokemon as maybe some people would have wanted in the game. If they come back with a ground up game for the Nintendo Switch with amazing visuals and a lot more Pokemon, let's say like around maybe 50 or so fighters to start with, and then you can add on the DLC, I think that's going to be a 3-4 million unit seller very quickly, and it could go up based on other factors in terms of how good the single player is and what they do there and what they do with the online multiplayer. But the game is really good. It's one of the most unique fighting games that I've ever played. It feels high quality. It feels really good and solid to hit people in the game. At one point, I was one of the best Lucario players on the Wii U in the world because Nintendo gave me a review copy and I was able to play quite a bit and kind of learn the strategy and what to do. I think it's a great game. I think Bandai Namco knows what they're doing when it comes to fighting games. They know what they're doing when it comes to online. They know what they're doing when it comes to dealing with Nintendo IPs. And if they can get another shot at this, I think that it would be way better than what we got with the first game. So I'm hoping that Bandai Namco and Harada get another shot at this one because I think it could be magical if they did. So what do you guys think about a potential sequel to Pokken Tournament for the Nintendo Switch or for a future Nintendo system? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. We've got some Hollow Knight Silksong information here. So we don't always get information on Silksong when it comes to things. It's been a while for this game, but I wanted to talk about this because the developers over at Team Cherry discussed various aspects when it comes to Hollow Knight Silksong, kind of welcoming in new players and expressing who the Hornet is. So in a recent interview, here's what they had to say. We're trying to be really mindful that we want this to be a game that new people can come into and experience as their first Hollow Knight game, that it sits alongside the original game and the difficulty also sits alongside the game in that way. And Hollow Knight Silksong kind of changes things up just a bit, including the protagonist. Players will be taking control of Hornet, and Team Cherry's William Pellin talked about how they're working to make her an expressive character. Quote, she's able to express her aims and intentions and stuff, which then means that you can't really hide her intentions or objective from the player. So there's still heaps of mystery, but the player will really quickly, even if you haven't played Hollow Knight, get a basic idea of who Hornet is, her attitude, and her starting goals. So I'm excited for Hollow Knight Silksong. Hollow Knight on the Switch is one of the best independent games of all time. The design, what they did with the manpower that they had at the time, and just kind of making this type of game and putting it on the Switch, it's super high quality. It feels great, Metroidvania style of gameplay, very satisfying to play through and solve what you need to do, and the difficulties there as well. I think Hollow Knight ticks all those boxes when you're talking about a good, compact experience that you can play on the go or also on your TV. So I really like what they did with Hollow Knight, and I think that with Silksong, it's taken a while to put everything together for this game, but you can't rush perfection. And Hollow Knight, the original game, is pretty close to perfection. So what do you do when you have a follow-up? You've got to make it even better than what people were expecting. You've got to take what you did and say, okay, we can improve upon on here, here, and here. And in order to do that, you can't just rush out a sequel. You've got to get it done, and you've got to get it done right. And I think that's what they're doing with Hollow Knight. They want to make that expressive character. They want to make a little bit more attitude and personality into it. They want to create a game that people are going to remember for a very long time. So I think that they need to take all the time that they can, make the best game that they can make, and when it does finally release on the Nintendo Switch and any other platforms that it's going to come onto, people are going to be very happy with the results because it's going to be a super high quality game. So I'm very excited to see what they have for us from Hollow Knight Silksong, and I think it's going going to release this year. I'm pretty sure it'll be 2021, so we'll have to wait and see on it. So what do you guys think about the different topics here, from Astral Chain, Pokken Tournament 2 maybe, and also Hollow Knight Silksong? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you for the next one. Peace.